Λοιπόν, Corset Football, είμαστε με τον πρώτο διεθνή καλεσμένο μας και αυτός είναι ο Ασμιρ Μπεγκοβιτς, ο οποίος είναι ο Βόσνιος διεθνής τερματοφύλακας, ο οποίος αυτή τη στιγμή είναι στη Λέστερ. Να τον ευχαριστήσουμε πάρα πολύ. Thank you for being with us, Asmir.
It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for having me.
So, tell me some things about your current status in Leicester. You are in Championship
Yep.
and you are in a historic team because, of course, you have been playing many years, and now you are with an ex-Premier League champion.
Yes. So currently at Leicester City, yeah, we're competing in the championship here in English football. The club is a massive club. It's a huge club with big tradition, big fan base, obviously big expectations. So our goal this year is to get promoted. For me, it's a pleasure to be part of this football club, and you know, being part of such a historic football club, and hopefully, yeah, we can have a really good last few months of the season and achieve our goals. But yeah, still enjoying my football, and nice to be part of this great club.
What is the atmosphere there? Because people are used to having Leicester in the Premier League in the last 15, 20 years, and of course winning the crazy title in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, or 15, something like that. So, do you receive this aura still inside the team with the fans?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there was a great history here, and a club that looks back now almost 10 years ago since they won the title, as you rightly say. And of course, those were some incredible times for the football club. Obviously, over the last few years, it's probably gone back to where it was before that title win, where things are a little bit up and down. But there's still a lot of work to do to rebuild and hopefully get ourselves back into the Premier League and establish ourselves there as well for the long term.
Okay, let's go now to the Bosnian football team, the national team. I know that you have been a member of the team for many games, and now we see that finally they are having some younger players, and this Balkan, let's say, talent is keeping evolving and getting better. And now they are having a chance of getting to the World Cup through the playoffs. What is your take on this situation with Bosnia?
Yeah, I think Bosnian football is very, very complicated. I spent many years playing for the national team, and things ended in crazy circumstances, but that's the way football goes. As you rightly said, I think the country's been through difficult times in terms of football the last 4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
Over the last year, there's been some progress made, and we had this chance to the playoffs to try and qualify for the World Cup. There is some younger players coming through. There can always be better and more infrastructure and more opportunities for our kids, for our next generation, which we always need to try and do and try and fix. But overall, yeah, there's some good young players coming through now. I think it's been a more positive last few months, and maybe with a bit of luck, we can qualify for the next World Cup.
Okay, let's go back to your career, which has been very rich and very beautiful, I should say. Uh, which team stays in your mind as your team? I mean, you have been a part of Stoke City, this very good Stoke City team, for 5 years. You have been in Bournemouth for 4 years. Which team stays with you closer to your heart, if I may say?
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I mean, incredible clubs I've played for, and incredible relationships of the people, these football clubs, and the fans and the community. So really, really lucky. AC Milan is a very special club. Chelsea is a very special club. I mean, there's so many different teams that I've been part of, and I've really enjoyed them. I think most people will always go back to me and during my Stoke City days. I think I had a good 5.5 years there. Was able to achieve many, many great things, as a team and obviously individually as well. So I probably think a lot of people really connect me to Stoke City in most ways.
You have been their, let's say, MVP of the season for 1 year, if I'm not mistaken. So they still love you, I guess. Maybe you get messages all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I left the club over 10 years ago now, which is pretty crazy. But I still try and go back as much as I can, and you still get really good messages with fans and people. And yeah, it's definitely a time I look back on very, very proudly.
Okay, I want you to tell me something funny. It has to be something funny with Peter Crouch because you
Okay.
have been playing together. He's very funny in terms of media. Okay, and I want you to give me another story about one of my favorite players during your Stoke City days, Ryan Shawcross. I know that he has been a very tough defender, an old style defender maybe. So I want you one story to tell me from Peter Crouch and one from Ryan Shawcross.
Yeah, well, actually, funny enough, I played with Peter Crouch, as you said, 2 times. So I go back to my Portsmouth days when I was really young.
Okay.
We won the FA Cup together in 2008. I think Peter Crouch was there in 2008. I think maybe he joined us in 2008. But we played at Portsmouth together, which was pretty cool, I have to say. And I was actually quite young, and my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, she used to babysit a couple of the players' daughters. At the time, it was Glenn Johnson and Peter Crouch. So we were a little bit younger. So we actually used to look after their kids, and then our kids now become friends, and we actually get along as we get older. So we go way back. Yeah, we go way back, maybe 17, 18 years, which is pretty incredible. And then same thing with Ryan. Our kids are older now, and they developed those relationships when we played together. So they're both 16 years old, his son and my daughter, and they still speak now on Snapchat, TikTok. So, they're still friends. And I think that's the cool part, where you build relationships and, people go way back.
Okay. One more question. I think that you have been playing together with Dominic Solanke in Bournemouth. Is that correct?
Correct. And Chelsea, yeah.
Okay, yes. So, and now he has been given a huge transfer to Tottenham. What about him? Where do you see his future, his ceiling, if I may say?
Well, I think, he's a top player when he's healthy. He's had a little bit of injury, bad luck over the last little while. Deservedly got the move to Tottenham. And I think, Tottenham's a huge club. And I think for him to try and succeed there, he has to be healthy. And once he's healthy and scoring goals and performing well for the team, then, why couldn't he play for England as well? So I think for him, he's got a lot of potential to do some amazing things.
Okay. To end our conversation, our short conversation, I want you to tell me some things about Greek football. For example, do you watch Brighton? Because Brighton has two very young, talented Greek players. Unfortunately, one of them, Gimas, was heavily injured some days ago, so he will be sidelined for something like 4 or 5 months. But also Kostoulas, who came from Olympiacos to Brighton for a record fee. So, do you watch them? Do you like Greek football with some new and young players coming out of the teams?
Yeah, I have to say I love Greek football and in general. I think I love the Greek culture, the people. Obviously, played there with the national team a few times. So always had some good games, great atmosphere. So I really appreciate the Greek football tradition and history. Yeah, a few connections. I think my old manager, Rafa Benitez, is Panathinaikos at the moment.
Yes, of course, yes.
So he's there. A good friend of mine, John Joe Kenny, plays for PAOK. There's some other Bosnian legends. Zlatan Muslimovic is a PAOK legend. So, I
Zlatan
think Bosnian.
Muslimovic is very, very beloved in Thessaloniki.
Yeah,
He played for PAOK, so they all remember him fondly.
Yeah, so I know I follow obviously Ola Hadimos, who's at Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. So a Greek goalkeeper. So yeah, I try and follow. I mean, football in general. Obviously, Greek football is always a very important team and a great league and some really traditional clubs. So yeah, I try and follow as much as I can.
Okay. Thank you very much for being with us. You are our first guest, so I hope you bring us luck. I'm very happy that we spoke offline also in our language. So thank you. I wish you the best. I wish you the best with Leicester and in your life generally. Bye bye, Asmir.
Thank you so much.